Yo, what's up? We're back. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing at this point. I'm just trying to random shit. I can't dance. How am I black but I can't dance? Don't answer that question. Actually, don't even worry about that question. Don't even answer that question, man. You don't even want to know. But we're back. Shazam! I'm not Spike Lee. But yeah, we're back. So the majority of this stuff is soccer. That's pretty much what's on at this point. There's baseball on, but it's on MLB TV. I'm not trying to pay for MLB TV, bro. Like I'm not trying to pay for MLB TV, man. Chill. Uh, but we got a couple of games to go through in the world of WNBA. In the world of WNBA, we have got one baseball game, right? So we have the first game we're gonna talk about in the world of basketball is the Mystics versus Liberty. This is pretty much a really close game all the way through. In the fourth, though, it was pretty much back and forth kind of game. Liberty go up at half. Liberty did end up having a 8-point lead at one point in the fourth. But the Mystics would come back and eventually win 86-83. This is a very good Mystics team. I've been really high on them. And obviously I haven't been able to watch most of their games because like sometimes when they play, they're a really good team. I don't know why they're not on TV all that often, but it's always the Valkyrie, the Aces, the Dream, the Liberty, the Mercury, who the Mercury are a very good team. They just got bad luck. It's always the same teams. So let me get this right. I don't mind talking about these teams. Don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem talking about them. It's just that I get tired of talking about these teams because the same teams over and over again. I want to talk about the Fire. I want to talk about the Lynx. Yeah, well, actually no, the Lynx are one of the teams that actually do get the all the time. I want to talk about the Fire. I want to talk about the Mystics. I want to talk about the Wings more often. I want to talk about a lot of the other teams that don't get a lot of shine, and it's like I can't talk about them a lot because there was only like a handful of teams that actually get called on, and another one of those games, where the Valkyrie and the Lynx. Don't get me wrong; these are two very good teams. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating on these teams. I'm not hating on the teams. I'm hating on the networks that are picking these teams because it's not their fault that they're getting picked. I just want to see more teams because I want to talk about other teams, but I can't because of how many. Because it's only the same. It's the same teams over and over again, right? Anyways, so it's all about money. It's all about ratings. They're only gonna do what's best for them, and I completely understand that. I just don't like it, man. As a consumer, I don't like it. Anyways, Valkyrie versus Lynx. This was a very good game the whole way through. It did seem like the Valkyrie were gonna pull away there in the second quarter because they did end up leading by 9 points late in the second, but some late free throws in the last 15 seconds really cut that down, really cut the Valkyries lead down to 5, and it made the game that much more manageable for the Lynx. Both teams would go back and forth in the third with the Lynx going at 63-62, and the poor shooting. It was really the poor shooting in the fourth for the Valkyrie because they do shoot a lot of threes, and they're kind of like. They're like, hold on, let me look at the team stats, right? Can I look at can I look at it through in the fourth quarter? Cause I don't know if I can or not, but because like in the fourth, yeah, in the fourth quarter, I'm just looking at the shot chart, right? There's only like 3 to 4 shots made for the Valkyries in this fourth quarter, and that really made it a lot easier for the Lynx to sneak out with an 75 win. Then we have the Dream versus Fever. The Dream, it was the Dream and the Fever would have like a close half. It would be in a 59-56. 59-56 at half, right? But the third quarter is when everything switched around. The Dream would take over in the third, and then lead 84-74 going into the fourth. And it really only got worse for the Fever as the Dream ended up winning 113-96. Like, like the Dream are statistically a great fourth quarter team. Like they've outscored, they have like the highest, like I saw this, I heard this in the last game against the Valkyries, where they outscore their opponents by like 99 in the fourth quarter. So this is a very bad team to go down to in the fourth. I think obviously the Fever found that out. So I mean, even if you have a lead against this team, which you'll see later on with the Valkyries, they'll still win. They can still win even being down. So you really don't want to go down. You don't really want to go down against this team, but you also don't want to be up. But you also don't want to be tied with them. So it's like no matter what you are, no matter what the situation is in the fourth quarter, it always seems like you're in a bad situation against the Dream. So the Aces and the Valkyries were just not able to get nothing going. I mean, nothing was going right for them. The Aces really just blew them out. They made everything like extremely hard. Like I said, the Valkyries they want to shoot a lot of threes. They want to get those kind of shots up, and if that shot is not falling, it's kind of hard for their offense to get going. And you really saw that in that game against the Aces. The Aces were their stifling defense, and it made things a lot harder. Now we move on to Fever versus Mercury. The Mercury did get off to like a really hot start. And Mercury did get off the hot start. They led the first quarter 19-6, and there was a 3 to 4 minute time period where the Fever were just like they were shooting, but nothing was going down. Like it was like my mom's friend, Mr. Mackey, right? He has this saying where like if the team is really struggling hitting shots, they're like, oh, they can't even throw a rock in the Grand Canyon. And it was like that. Like the Fever in that first quarter just could not get nothing going. But the second quarter was much better for them, and they ended up getting real hot, and they ended up actually being able to tie the game at 41 apiece in the second quarter, and then their momentum really continued through into the third and fourth quarters, where they would take over and eventually end up winning 86-77. So the next game that we're gonna talk about is the Fever versus Mercury, and then we had Mercury versus Fever. So Mercury versus Fever, this is obviously a rematch. So they actually split this one. This was a much more competitive game. Both teams it was a back and forth kind of back and forth kind of game. Neither team really having a prominent lead, and it came down to the last few seconds. And I think the Dream, not the Dream, but the Mercury kind of won by like kind of like, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know how to say it. Like, they kind of went by heelish nature, right? Where they didn't control the ball, right? It kind of like, it kind of fumbling it into the back, like, into the, into the, into the, into the backcourt. It was kind of like the Raiders, in 1970s, where there was like, where they kept fumbling. It was like a situation like the Raiders in the 1970s where they kept fumbling the ball forward, and then they caught it, and then they recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. Like, it was like kind of that situation, right? And it was like that, but with basketball, and it's like the Mercury, they barely snuck out with a 111, 109 win. So that was kind of crazy to me. Then we have the second to last game. Yeah, no, the last game was Valkyrie versus Dream. For the Valkyries, this was a much better game for them. They were actually able to hit their shots. They were hitting a lot of threes this game. Even one of their threes was actually a dagger three to end the game. To really take the lead out of to really like to really solidify their lead. This is a very dominant showing by the Valkyries, as in the second and third quarters was really dominant by them. They went up 44-27 at half, and ended up going 63-40 after three. But like I said, with this Dream team, right, that even if you're up in the fourth quarter, they'll still find a way to come back, and that was what happened against the Valkyries, because the Dream were able to get the game within single digits. While yes, they did lose 77-66, they did give the Valkyries a bit of a scare there. So that just shows you how dominant that, like, even with Angel Reese having a pretty bad game, she was highly inefficient. The Dream was still able to come close to actually winning the game. So we're actually gonna go back. We're gonna go now to baseball. We've got the Dodgers and the Twins. It was tied 2-2 at going into the fourth inning, but after that it was just all Dodgers. They left 5-2 heading into the fifth, 62-72, and then they ended up winning 12-3 in the ninth. I think that was the only baseball game in there. I think. Hold on, let me check. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now to soccer. There was a lot of Ronaldo finally showed up. That's the one of the first things I went to. I'm not, like I said, like, this is like a lot of these were just like I'm not gonna go through every single game, because that would, like, it was like, oh, this team scores. I'll go over the scores and stuff, but I'm not gonna talk about it really like in depth, because like I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But Ronaldo finally showed up. He said, calm, like chill. You seen? I seen what Mbappe and Messi and Haaland did in the first couple of games. I saw what they did. Chill. I'm 41, but I still can tote that. I can still kick that thing, boy. 2 goals in the first half. Said that this is Ronaldo's first goal scored in like 10 games for Portugal, I believe. So it was really imperative that he come out and, you know, be like, yo, I still got this, you know? And I seen the TikTok that said it really feels like he plays his best when people down. And it's like that's when like when people think of the best, they're at their best when the people doubt them the most. They come off a bad game like, oh, he might not have it no more. They say, hey, watch this. That's what happened, you know? So I think that was really a really needed showing for Ronaldo, and, you know, for Portugal as well. Because you want your best player to show up in these moments. You know what I mean? So I think that was very needed. We had America absolutely destroy Australia, man. Hey, Aussies. Apparently, Australia has a beef with America. I didn't know. I thought, hey, yo, look, we love Steve Irwin. You know, we love Australia here, man. We love Aquaman. What's his name? Dude that used to play for Oklahoma City. Yeah, him. You know what I'm talking about. Play for OKC. Steven Adams. We love Steven Adams. We love Steven Adams, man. I'm a wrestling fan. We love Rhea Ripley. We love Buddy Murphy. We love the Aussies. We love the Aussies. What do the Aussies do to us, man? And then only to get up, pop, 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 pop. Only end up getting in Spain, boy. Morocco 1-0 against Scotland. Brazil 3-0 against Haiti. Portugal 1-0 against Turkey. Netherlands beat up on Sweden 5-1. Ecuador and Curacao ended up with a 0-0 tie. Japan 2-0 against Tunisia. Uruguay tie with Cape Verde 2-2. New Zealand lost against Egypt 3-1. Argentina beat Austria 2-0. France beat Iraq 3-0. Norway beat up on Senegal. Well, not beat up on Senegal. It was a 3-1 game for the majority of it. Until Senegal scored in the 92nd minute. In extra time, 90 plus 2 extra minute. To make things kind of interesting, but they weren't able to get the win. Algeria beat Jordan 2-1. Like I said, Portugal beat up on Uzbekistan 5-0. England versus Ghana ended up in 0-0 tie. England again and Massachusetts struggling on offense. I mean, my goodness. Croatia 1-0 against Panama. Colombia 1-0 against Congo. Bosnia beat up on Qatar 3-1. Switzerland versus Canada 2-1. Hey, well, Canada, what happened? Y'all lost. That's what happened. We lost to Switzerland. Boom. Come on now. I mean, come on, Canada. Come on, Canada. Y'all making crazy jokes to Bosnia. Hey, what's up for snipers, Canada? What's up for snipers, Bosnia? That's what y'all get. 2-1 against Bosnia. 2-1 against Switzerland. Right? Morocco versus Haiti. This is a great game. I mean, there was 4-2, right? 4-2. But there was this one kick. There was this one. He had it. He was on like a. I think it was on like a corner kick, right? The dude that scored had his back like this, right? He caught it, right? And he turned, went boom, right? Went like boom. And then the dude that was defending him, he stuck his foot out to deflect the ball. The ball bounced off the bottom of his foot and went into the corner of the goal. I mean, my goodness. And then there was this one, from like far out. He went boom. It was phone went boom to the corner of the goal. Oh my goodness. Brazil beat up on Scotland. Vinny Jr. with 2 goals. With 2 of them things. Korea versus South Africa. South Africa beat Korea 1-0. Mexico versus Czechia. Mexico 3-0 against Czechia. 3-0. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the ties, right? But it's whatever. I'm willing to swallow it. Swallow my pride. Okay, it's cool, right? But this is a lot. I saw a lot of fun games today. That's what I really want to see. That's why I love sports, because it's fun, And so I'm just hoping for good games, and I saw a lot of these today. I really had a lot of fun with Morocco versus Haiti, though. Morocco versus Haiti was a really great game. We've got some other games on slate. Today we have today in the world in the World Cup, today. Let's see. I know. Okay, so at 4, we have Ecuador versus Germany and Curacao versus Ivory Coast. At 7, we got Japan versus Sweden, Tunisia versus Netherlands, and then at 10, we got Paraguay and Australia versus Turkey and the USA. Those 4 games are the main event of the evening. So, until next Thursday, I'm your host, Chase Goins. Yes, no, I'm sorry. But I'm your host, Chase Goins. This is Ball, and I'll see you next time. Peace.